Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 mod review. And today we've got another weapon pack to check out. Now, it's been a while since Pig has released a weapon mod, but after enough yelling at him on Discord, he has finally released his Close Quarters weapon pack. A mod pack that's going to include 3 new makeshift weapons, all with the intended purpose of being used in close quarters. Now, for those who don't know, Pig is actually working on a handful of weapon packs. He already released that big pack of makeshift weapons, and this is the first of his new set of packs. This one, of course, being focused on close quarters, but there will be more to come in the future. Now, in this pack, you're going to get 3 really nifty weapons. You have the Wasteland 45 Auto Pistol, which is going to be essentially a makeshift MAC-10 of sorts. You also have the makeshift revolving shotgun, which is going to be a drum-fed, or I suppose cylinder-fed shotgun, though the magazine doesn't rotate, but we'll get into that later. And then we also have the handcrafted autoloader, which is inspired by the C96 and uses 44 caliber ammunition. And there's even a unique included in this mod. Now, much like Pig's other weapon mods, these are all nif-bashed using a lot of vanilla assets in new and interesting ways, so you're not going to see a ton of custom models, though there are some pretty neat features in here, so it's definitely worth checking out. This definitely has a very lore-friendly feel. It feels like weapons that settlers and raiders would definitely be making out in the wasteland. These are added to the level list and can be found pretty much everywhere after level 10, and each of these weapons is highly customizable over at the weapons workbench. Now then, let's go ahead and take these things in-game and check out all of their neat, interesting features, starting with their stats. Now then, we do have 3, or technically 4 weapons to check out, so we'll try to make this brief. For starters, here is the short makeshift revolving shotgun in its most basic form with all of these standard attachments. This thing has a base damage of 43, using shotgun shells, has a fire rate of 26, a range of 155, which is a whole lot for a shotgun. That might be a mistake. It has an accuracy of 114, a weight of 13.5 pounds, since it is a huge lump of scrap metal, and has a value of 101 caps. And I gotta say, I really like the design of this thing. This right here looks like a proper pipe gun, unlike what we got in the vanilla game. This looks like something really, really neat, and something that could be made by raiders. Various pieces of pipe, all held together with nuts and bolts and some welds here and there. This looks super cool. Functionally, it's just going to be a semi-automatic shotgun, but it still has a really nice, unique design. We then have the Wasteland 45 Auto Pistol, another handmade weapon, this in the form of a machine pistol, and this thing looks really cool. Again, looks much more like a proper pipe gun compared to the vanilla ones. This thing has a base damage of 15, is only available in fully automatic and uses 45 caliber rounds, has a fire rate of 127, a range of 107, an accuracy of 55, a weight of 5.6 pounds, and a value of 89 caps. And honestly just has a really neat profile. Definitely looks like a makeshift MAC-10. Super cool. And then what is by far my favorite of the lot, we have the handcrafted autoloader, which again takes heavy inspiration from the C96. And this thing looks super cool. Obviously it is still very much makeshift and uses a lot of the vanilla assets to sell that feel. You can even see that it takes the barrel from the 44, as though the settler or raider, whoever made this thing, took some existing weapon parts and just slapped it on there because they know that it would work. Looks super neat. By default, this thing has a base damage of 45, which is pretty hefty, but it does use 44 caliber rounds, has a fire rate of 40, and this thing is only available in semi-automatic. It has a range of 119, an accuracy of 49, a weight of 4.4 pounds, and a value of 80 caps. And I just love the look of this thing. But it doesn't end there. There is also the unique known as Smuggler's End. And spoiler warning, if you want to find this thing, you can find it in the Pridwin in Elder Maxon's room. Now then, if we're going to have a makeshift weapon based off of the C96, we need a makeshift blaster based off of the DL44, and this thing looks super neat. This thing does double damage if the target is at full health. It has a base damage of 87 energy damage, uses fusion cells as its ammo type, and as we can see, there is a custom magazine there that does have fusion cells rigged up to it. Fire rate of 40, range of 203, accuracy of 93, weight of 5.6 pounds, and a value of 2,695 caps, though keep in mind, this thing is a unique, and there's only one of it in the Commonwealth. So I would recommend keeping this one and not selling it. Now then, when it comes to animations for this pack, most of the weapons do use vanilla animations. However, there are actually a couple that have custom animations. So we'll go ahead and talk about each of those and show them off here so you can see what the weapons look like in use. Starting off with that revolving shotgun. Sadly, the drum or the cylinder does not actually revolve, but it is still fairly neat. Let's go ahead and check that out. I believe this is using the vanilla submachine gun animations. Still works very well, and the animations all line up pretty nice. We then have the 45 auto pistol, and this thing takes up a whole lot of your screen, as I believe it is using vanilla 10mm animations, and this is a pretty big model, but it still works pretty fine in first person. A little bit of clipping here and there, but not too bad. We then have, again, my favorite with that auto loader, and this thing makes use of War Daddy's animations for the Chinese pistol, and they look great. And then while it does use the same animations, I just want to show off the unique Smuggler's End because this thing is just so cool. So yeah, that's what these all look like firing. Let's go ahead and check out the attachments over at the weapons workbench. Now then, we've got a whole lot of weapons to get through, so I'll try to be as brief as possible with the attachment section, though we do have a lot of options here. As for that unique, the Smuggler's End, it actually doesn't have any attachments. That weapon comes as is. Now then, let's go ahead and start with the 45 auto pistol. This thing has your standard allotment of receivers, only available in fully automatic, where you can throw on either a powerful automatic receiver for the highest damage of 23, or the powerful rapid automatic receiver, which will have an increased fire rate, though a damage of 20, so it's really kind of up to the playstyle that you prefer. For barrels, we have the short and shorter barrel. For grips, we have the standard grip, comfort grip, sharpshooter's grip, and the folding stock. For the magazine, we have the standard magazine, a large magazine, and the extra large magazine. For the sights, we have the standard iron sights, the reflex sight, which uses the 10mm, the reflex sight circle, and the recon scope. And then for muzzles, we have the option for no muzzle, a compensator with foregrip, just the foregrip, a suppressor, or the suppressor with scope, which has, again, some major Mac 10 vibes, and then the suppressor with foregrip. Keep in mind, none of these foregrips are actually functional, they're there just for looks. And that is it for the auto pistol. Let's check out the auto loader. We have your standard set of receivers up to advanced, giving you a maximum damage of 78. Your barrels, you have short, very short, and long. For your grips, we have the standard grip, the comfort grip, and the sharpshooter's grip. For magazines, we have the standard, medium, large, and drum. For sights, you have the standard iron sights, the reflex sight, which is made out of a spoon, the short scope, and the medium scope. And then for muzzles, we have the standard no muzzle, compensator, muzzle brake, and suppressor. And finally, that takes us to the revolving shotgun, which has, again, your standard set of receivers up to advanced with a maximum damage of 75. Your barrels are standard and ported. For stocks, you have the short stock, full stock, marksman, and recoil compensating stock. For the cylinder, you have your standard cylinder, a 5-shot magnum buck, and an 8-shot extended drum. Cylinder, whatever. For sights, you have the iron sights and a reflex sight, again, made from a spoon. And for muzzles, we have the option for no muzzle, a compensator, muzzle brake, bayonet, and suppressor. Now then, it is time for our damage test for today. Now, typically, I would compare the base damage of each weapon to its maxed out damage, but since we have so many weapons to check out, we're just going to skip straight over to the fully upgraded version. So, we'll be checking out a fully upgraded version of the shotgun, the machine pistol, and the auto loader, and then I'll also be checking out the Smuggler's End. Since it has no attachments and it just has a base damage, I'm curious how it performs on its own. Now then, let's see how this revolving shotgun does. Let's test it out on this Deathclaw, aiming for its weak point. Let's see the damage. And if I had one more well-placed shot, that Deathclaw probably would have been down in one cylinder, but he did flinch at the end there, so my aim was a bit off. But Around 8 shots would probably do it with this thing. Not too shabby for a makeshift shotgun. Let's check out the machine pistol. We are going to have to reload. And that Deathclaw is down. Not too bad, about a magazine and a half. How about the autoloader? And in 8 shots, that Deathclaw is down. It is using 44 Magnum, which is a pretty hefty bullet. Now let's see the Smuggler's End unique laser variant. That one probably would have been 8 as well, but again, with the flinch, things were a bit off. But still, pretty powerful. Good stuff. So yeah, guys, that is the Close Quarters pack by Pig. 3 brand new makeshift weapons to add to your game. If you like makeshift weapons and you're cool with NIF-bashed assets, then this is definitely one that's worth checking out. It may not be perfect, but you definitely get a lot of bang for your buck in this mod. If you want to try this mod out for yourself, it will be linked down in the description below as usual. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a rating. Consider subscribing if you haven't already for more videos just like this. Check out the Patreon if that's something that interests you, though it is completely optional. And big shout out to all of my existing patrons. You guys are awesome. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace!